Hello, and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the 8th grade concept of congruence and transformations. This is standard 8.10b in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 17 of the 2024 released STAAR test. This is a new item type called Match Table Grid, and if you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. All right, so match table grid here, we've got 3 rows, and they have statements that we need to either say preserves congruence or does not preserve congruence. And you notice that you can't select both in each row, so each row says you only can answer in one column, either does or does not preserve congruence. This is a 2-point problem, so if I were just to randomly pick those two and try to move on, it is going to give me an error message because it wants me to select something in all 3 rows. So let's figure out which of these preserve congruence, which of these do not. This is a 2-point problem, so if I want both points, I need to get all 3 rows correct. A figure on the coordinate plane is transformed to create a new figure. Determine whether each transformation preserves or does not preserve congruence. So that's going to be my big word there. Congruent is something that we learned all the way back in elementary school, right? Same size and then same shape. It's literally the exact same shape. You're just moving it, you're twisting it, you're flipping it, you're rotating it. Okay? So let's put the grid back on there a little bit. Reflected across the y-axis. All right, so let's just draw a little grid here. All right, so let's say that I've got a shape and I'm going to just make it a triangle, right? So let's make it a right triangle right here. All right, so if I wanted to reflect that across the y-axis, what I'm going to end up doing is I'm just going to flip it right over there, right? That's my y-axis right here. And so I'm going to make it look like this, and then over here, and then down there. So this is a reflection. Let me do this in a different color here so we can see it. I have reflected it across the y-axis. And you notice we have the exact same shape. They're just facing different directions because we use the y-axis as a mirror. So a reflection preserves congruence. You're not making it a different size. You're not definitely making a different shape. You're keeping the exact same shape and you're preserving congruence. So if you reflect it across the y-axis, you're preserving congruence. All right, let's see what the next one is. Rotation of 180 degrees counterclockwise with the origin as the center. Okay, so we can do that. Let's once again start with our blue one here. And what we're going to do is we are going to rotate it. It says counterclockwise. So we are going to go, that would be 90 degrees. And it's going to end up over here. That's going to be 180 degrees. So if we can imagine that we are rotating it, right? We're going to rotate it around 180 degrees. And it is going to be, right, around something like this. Might not have done it perfectly, but it's going to end up looking something like that. And we've rotated it 180 degrees. And what we need to know is that when we rotate it, we're just turning it. And rotation also preserves congruence. I'm not shrinking it, I'm not growing it, I'm just twisting it. So that is going to preserve congruence. What's the last one? A dilation by a scale factor of 0.5. All right, now that is going to change it because that shrinks it. So if I wanted to do a scale factor of 0.5, it might end up being something like this. You see how I've made it a little bit smaller? So it's the same shape, but it's not the same size. So dilation does not preserve congruence, and those are our 3 answers.